Okay, we're back. I'm gonna make my microphone just a tad louder now. Hopefully that'll help. I feel like I'm a bit quiet in the last few, but now that we're back here, do I get a bonus? Whoa! Valsund means whale fjord in Arden.
You're back before the cargo container.
Darn.
Its draw has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
Oh, so I guess I can try again each day. But if I remember correctly, I can get 20. I can exchange my thing for 25 real. The humongous check, I can exchange that for 25 real at the frit. And Measurehead should help me with the body.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you.
Okay, bro, should
You
I?
have really let yourself go.
Oh, wait, it's 1850. I might have to wait a bit. I think I should wait a bit because I want to talk to the guy. And if I get the body down, I'm going to want to do the analysis, like, immediately. I hope I don't get any negatives for leaving it in the tree for an extra day. One more day should be fine. I'll get it, like, first thing in the morning. The truth. More importantly, I have something to say to this guy.
Looking for something, odd? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
I have something that'll make him speak. I got a bonus.
Looking for something, odd? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
Oh. Okay, well, I guess I'll do that later. That didn't help as much as I thought it would. It is 1850. I do need to talk to someone to progress the time just a little bit, and I should be able to rattle the lawyer a
I've
bit
got
by knowing
nothing
her
to say
name.
to you. Why are you wasting your time? I am not.
You could be Liz. You could be anything. You could even be a model.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school. I am an attorney. I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries.
Damn.
And focusing on why you are actually here. Titus Hardy.
Composure. Please say she was shaken.
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes. In the way she stands. In her face.
Thank you, Composure.
You are not here to chat up the legal counsel. You are here to question these men.
Damn. Wonder if, can I, what about the window? Is the window got anything?
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers.
What does it mean by it's not time yet? I don't want to. No, I don't have my authorities in the shitter. I won't be able to get anything. She's still up there. How? Wait, it's letting me navigate? Oh. Big help, guys. Alright, Harry, where are you going? That's a window. Fine. Oh wait, I need to go around. Actually, no, I'm gonna take my mic down a little. I don't want my keys to be audible. I gotta get around. Also, it struck it actually, hold on. Ah, it is in the keys. Okay, are you here? Just want to make sure this is locked. What if I got my... I forget if I got my equipment up. Darn. Hopefully he's back.
This door is made of metal, and no one.
We should return in the evening. At 9 p.m. the earliest.
At 2100? Oh my... I thought it was 1900. Whoops. Well, at least I can, go do something else. Titus is, probably out of my reach. But maybe I could... try... I'm gonna try threatening the... I'm gonna try threatening the guy again. So, I need to put a point in the half-life. And then put on the gloves. This should give me pretty decent odds. Unless something is lowering my half-life. Half-light's going up a little. Half-light should be fine. Let me check again. My half-light should be good. This should be a pretty decent chance.
Looking for something, Aunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
Okay.
Men like this only respect two things: strength and fear.
Threaten people!
Fuck you, I told you. I'm not gonna...
There, his voice grows smaller as yours.
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green, banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is.
When did she go away?
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot.
Oh, I
dyke,
don't want to
probably.
listen. Okay, don't
I
listen to
haven't
that.
even seen her for days. Past the monument, down there. The Green Temple. Now, leave me the fuck alone, okay?
A small temple by the monument. Green. Let's get into that lorry.
Oh, marvelous. Maybe I'll keep these gloves on for the time being. Not that Half-Light needs to pop up very often, but...
This green found, A to Z, contemporaire, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
Abandoned for a
This
while.
must be the one he told us about. Unless he was lying.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out
Damn.
the shape of the seat and two steering levers.
Must have been gone for months. Or, no wait, she bought my gun. Which is my leading theory. She's only been here for... She had to have left in the past 3 days.
The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced. There's no pick in this lock. The owner has put special care into it. It's a recessed design.
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside. This has been hard enough. No need to make it any harder.
Well, true. Physical instrument. Anything else? Okay, that's still physical instrument. Okay, I guess it's just that. And then pry bar.
This screen found, A to Z, contemporary, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
I'm never getting into this thing.
With a firm grip, you raise the pry bar, a glint of light catching on the tip. Call down the hammer of truth and justice. Release your secrets, lorry cabin.
There's no way I could lose.
The window shatters and droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor and pavement.
Sato.
Says the lieutenant and sticks his hand like in the window, like a common car thief, and then opens
The
it.
smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals.
The posters.
These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century.
Damn. 70 years ago?
One of them
60?
particularly catches your eye. A centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat.
I don't know.
There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amberette, wafting through the bitter air of the cabin.
What is the smell?
The remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume. Probably granate number 5.
I thought it was granite for a second. Who wants to smell like stone?
The actress is draped in a sheath dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. This is Tip Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death.
Oh.
She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here, on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world,
Damn.
and the camera, too. The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard, and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat.
The radio?
Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Darn.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least. For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV.
I guess they talk to each other.
Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation. With quite a range, too.
Maybe I could talk to them if I had the key.
A 20-kilometer radius at least, perhaps extended by an attachable antenna that's not here right now.
Without the key, can we hotwire?
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key.
Damn.
The smell of 1,000 cigarettes, some dead actresses, and a rusty old toolbox under the seat.
What's in the
A
toolbox?
metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper.
Maybe there's something in there.
It's an issue of Petit Ferique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system.
More radio stuff?
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
On last Wednesday. So yeah, she was here at least a week ago.
The pull-out toolkit slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Radio, posters, a trace of motor oil smell under all the cigarettes.
Yeah, the pedals.
You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle.
Oh!
Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Odd soul!
Sandpaper? A novel technique? Yes? Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching. Looks like her, yes. Now we know for certain who's the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation?
I think so. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure Glenn mentioned something about drugs. I could be making that up, but I think he, Titus told him to shut up immediately afterwards, and that's how we knew there was an at least prospective 8th Hardy boy.
We should see what Titus has got to say on the matter. Are we finished with the lorry?
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. The radio transmitter sits on the center console, and a faint smell of perfume is in the air. You close the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce?
Okay. Let me just put my usual shirt back on and unequip the tool.
Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Seems like something the police would do.
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
I mean, it could simply be lucrative, but I guess that the air width... Yeah, the air width probably costs a fortune.
I'm not sure what the ULAN frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks.
Listening in on your calls between you and your station, a worrying prospect.
And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching. This may be the Union connection we've been searching for.
What about the movie
As
posters?
elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
Could the film industry be
I'm going
involved?
to say no. Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically. But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them, to other ends, as extra ammunition.
Indeed.
Meaning, someone as slippery as Everard won't be caught by a couple of cops and some stuff they found in some cabin.
He's like an eel.
We should return to the murder case. See what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that.
In the...
The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome. All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either. Debrief over, after you.
Splendid. I cannot be stopped. Oh. What do you want to know, Tommy?
I saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble? Still better than me, I guess. Told you there's plenty of others who'd tell on her. But is she in trouble?
I gotta tell him the truth.
It's that bad. Man, what should I do? What should I do to help her?
I'm not sure there is any help, to be honest. But he does need to stay out of it. I mean, there's going to be an investigation. He doesn't want to be, like, laundering.
Yeah, maybe I should just keep my head down and work on my rhymes while I can. Oh, you know, Tommy Leham's gonna be a musician. Sprechgesang, but with beats. I've got a lot of free time on the road to hone my craft.
Oh, yeah.
The correct grammar is Tommy Lahom.
Tommy Lam was taken. My real name's Jerry Lafitte. Tommy's way better.
If you say so.
Yeah, you too. Be safe, detective.
Jerry Lafitte. That's not a bad name. On par with Harry Dubois, at least. Whoa, wait.
Damn, that felt good. Your heart's pounding nicely. You should tell people to fuck off more often.
Not as a general rule, but that one was justified. Better to get the lay of the land before telling people to fuck off.
Okay.
That's the spirit. Never forget. The whole world's a wooden house, and you're a goddamn flamethrower.
Oh, yeah. Whoa. Okay. How do I... Is it here?
The tear machine stands in the corner. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfying jingle.
Epic.
You're a richer man now.
What about you?
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
Oh, I forgot about the door, the blue door.
A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe. I don't really care what for it does.
She looks up from under her brow.
Fine. Frit doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay?
Oh, whoa, hey. I just realized what's going on over here. I have morphed into the super cop.
Wow. I didn't know you worked for the union, sir.
Does the union only pay people in humongous novelty checks?
Anything else I can do for you?
No, you don't work for the union. The union works for you by supplying you with cash.
Sure.
That was easy. Worryingly so.
That's my... I can rest peacefully for the next 2 days. Yeah. Huh?
All around you, rain falls on the great city of Revachol. Rain drips from the eaves and floods the gutters, washing the filth away.
This is real. This is higher than my usual draw distance. Thank you, Shivers. Thank you. You see Kuno.
The spring thaw must be here. The snow is melting. Looking up at the sky, cold water dripping from your hat.
We see
Grey
Martinez.
sky like great battleships, clouds colliding with one another. Rain falls down on the world. Humid, your coat shields you from the rain while the city shivers around you. Sheets of rain over the water, a flight of stairs leading into the ocean. Wave after wave washing the coast of Martinez, with its motorboats and gently swaying reeds. The ruins of a half-sunken sea fort crumble on an inlet beyond the Bay of Revachol. Ghosts rise into the sky.
They did.
The skyscrapers of La Delta, the financial district. Faint golden light seeps from the office windows. urban coastline, rain dripping off Eternite-covered roofs, cinder blocks left over from half-finished construction,
Damn,
a
Eternite.
defunct research and development building, once seized by revolutionaries. An old wooden church stands on stilts above the water. Coal City, end of all lines. Your hair is an oily mess flecked with ash from neighboring coal plants. Smokestacks rise somewhere in the distance.
You know, I didn't realize how bombed out the roof of that building was, huh? It's like the back half doesn't exist anymore.
The great gates of the industrial harbor are locked. A chill runs down your back. You shudder like an animal trying to shake water from its hide. Behind the gates, heaps of supply crates, red and blue metal shipping containers, slick with rain. The Greater Revachol Industrial Harbor is an artificial mountain range. Immense wealth resides within, and immeasurable poverty in its shadow.
It's like one of those, you know, it's artificial mountain range. It's like, yeah, how on one side of a mountain you can have the wettest rain locale ever, and on the other side there's a desert.
La Drusienne, King Dri's passenger harbor. Cruise ships flanked by dock arms, cranes watching over the mouth of the river distributary. Couronne, the lower middle class. Distributary after distributary cuts the city blocks in half. 7-story buildings trail off into the rain. A silvery curtain of rain over the houses. The class divide. You have never been there. They don't need the law east of the river.
The class divide. Even Shivers is on our side. The communism.
Capeside apartments. Tower blocks crowd one another. 4.46mm bullets still lodged in their war-torn stone walls. Hallways collapse from the mortar hits of a war that was lost long ago. Clotheslines go to waste in the rain. Radios play. The evening news. A yard. Rain falls onto the roof of a woodshed. Coal leaks into a puddle beneath a dead man's feet. He swings from a tree, bloated. Droplets of rain slip from his cold cheeks.
I know I'm kind of quiet, but honestly, I'm really entertained by. I'm really entertained by Shivers. Very interesting perspective. I'm glad I picked up the bow collector.
A traffic jam. Rain thrumming on the roofs of motor vehicles. Inside, drivers watch water streaming down their windshields. The statue of a king shudders. He too is cold. The canal bridge has been raised. The road ascends. A raised motorway loops above the ghetto. Beneath its concrete columns, a sea of rooftops, woodwork, and tar stretches northward. 4-story buildings as far as the rain can fall. The snows melt in Jamrock.
Have a brother in the cut. Where the wood at?
Shivers, huh?
To be in Martinez, where no one goes, at the runoff point of a long-forgotten canal, in the whitest part of town, in the shadow of the day the revolution failed. Standing in the rain, looking north, where Jamrock Rock City stretches inland.
Jamrock Rock City?
In the rain-swept distance, above the rooftops of Jamrock, a repurposed silk mill stands perched above the motorway exit. Precinct 41 hunches in the rain. Your vision blurs. You wipe your face with your hand. The rain stings your eyes, making you look up and blink.
I wonder if there's a whole different version of this scene when it's not raining.
Coalition aerostatics hang like apparitions under the cloud cover. Way up there, where rain forms, rotors flutter silently. your sight clears.
This rain will not let up anytime soon. At least we are dressed for it. Let's keep moving.
At least I am. Whoa! Wait, where am I going again? I forgot what I was doing. The Hardy Boys. I could talk to the Hardy Boys.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Guess what?
Like hell you have. There is no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask the local junkies how clean your streets are in Precinct 41 kilos.
You know how I said that Kuno has the same pose as Half-Light? He's a little ball of horrible instinct. Titus has the same pose as Authority, so...
We'll do that. In the meantime, did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from Terminal B to Jamrock? The person driving it was present at the hanging. It was one of you. We've connected the footprint. Detective, do you want to deliver the coup de grace?
Yes, please.
The thought forms in your head, like a lightning strike branching in the sky.
That's a mighty interesting theory. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete the runts on the street.
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do. To get rid of the gangs, the dealers, even some of the junkies.
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. For the good of the community, of course.
I see what he did there, huh?
Yes, but that just sends everyone else to Jamrock, doesn't it?
We haven't done anything, but theoretically, it has to be someone's problem, so it might as well be yours.
Titus, I'm amazed. Where is the same professionalism when it comes to other topics? You're doing great. I hardly have to interfere at all.
I don't know, Lizzie. I guess theoretical things don't make me emotional. Now, was there anything else? I was sorta gonna get my brewski on.
Damn.
Not quite yet, Mr. Hardy. There were 8 sets of prints on the crime scene. There are only 7 Hardy boys here.
My answer is... fuck off. Mind your own business. There is no 8th Hardy. I run this goddamn scene.
And here we go. Back to the usual.
I know! Fatty walked on all 4s. He's so fucking fat he left 2 sets of footprints.
Wow, Shanky, you're so funny.
Despite everything, the little man is quick on his feet.
Go fuck your mom, Dennis.
That's more like it, boys. You heard him. It was Angus on all 4s. Anything else you need to know?
At least I got some more bonuses for that authority check. I will have to buff it up when I need it, but at the very least I have 1 more skill point. Now, what are my thoughts looking like? White Morning is not great. I could probably replace it. Although I don't know how good these are. I like Logic and I like Shivers. At least magnesium-based lifeform isn't a very long commitment, and it's also probably going to like boost my magnesium performance, which I kind of don't need because the Suicide of Krasmazov is actually rather good at keeping my morale healthy, so we'll have to see how this all turns out.
Get moving.
Wait a minute. Is Cindy gone? Oh, no, she's still there.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
The lorryman.
Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered? It doesn't really matter, and I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this. In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I am sure you understand.
I just got an achievement called I just got an achievement called Goodest of the Good Cops. Really get Kim to trust you. Okay.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
So there's gonna be more murders?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Oh.
Since you are sharing, man, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
Oh, there we go.
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail. They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
Which was extreme.
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric, or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor.
I suppose there's a lot of money on the line.
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
But then they have Measurehead.
Who are they, exactly?
And the Hardy Boys seem pretty stocky.
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating.
So there's two more mercenaries.
They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
PTSD?
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night. Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbor. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now. It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching.
What
Once
the
this
hell?
investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
There's a rival detective team. It's me and Kim versus the... Oh no.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
It'll be all of them. The decision is already made.
Oof. I have to say, this is not...
It is very far from disco. My only hope is that you provide a single, concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put...
She grabs hold of the mainsail.
If you don't pin this on someone good, and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
The débardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
The Serai's giant hornet, the world's second largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
And it's true. There's 2 of them, and they both have humongous ceramic armor and automatic weaponry. These guys are walking tanks. I mean, it's hard to say they'll be able to take out most of the 2,000 men, but they got high-end weapons, they got high-end armor. Those guys are gonna... Oh!
These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all.
No.
The muzzle loaders need to be reloaded after every 1 or 2 shots. The automatics every 1 or 2 minutes.
As I said, a bloodbath. Many bleak scenarios have already come true. Nameless, badgeless detective of the citizens' militia.
Yeah.
All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
Okay, I gotta... Oh... Do I really need to talk to the balcony guy? He seems hardly important now that I know that... Oh... I know the mercenaries are coming. Let's go over who the mercenaries might be first. I assume if they're well military trained, that means they're also probably very muscular. And if they don't know how to function in social scenarios, then like if they're bad at social scenarios, they should be like kind of obvious. The only guy I can think of who's outwardly strange, muscular, and you know, he has a shaky background and he's connected to Wild Pines is the Union leader. But the problem with the Union leader is that he seems to have done a strangely good job at like organizing the scabs. Not the Union leader, I'm stupid. The guys standing outside the doors to the dockwork, the débardeurs. The scab leader. The scab leader is weirdly muscular and he's wearing all the weird clothes and probably doesn't know anything about the bars from where he claims he's from. But the problem with that is, yeah, he's kind of socially adept actually. Like I don't have like anything I could pop behind him and see if he, you know, takes cover. Like it's definitely a terrible tactic to trigger trauma and stressor disorder. Okay, well that doesn't go back that far. That's a bad move. But like it is a theoretical possible choice. I can't do that.
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell. They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eendracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries.
Fourth world?
Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
Do such things even exist?
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors, Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
So these guys are shady.
Sadly, no.
Rough.
Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
The International Collaboration Police, ICP, is charged with coordinating law enforcement activities in complex multinational investigations. Their database is the single largest source of information in the world.
That could take forever.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, man?
It takes months to get myself a new badge, but...
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I would be dealing with a group like Crenel. I have, and they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
Oh, okay.
The remaining contractors, their tribunal, it's what they believe. That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
That's what the Hardy Boys are telling.
The lieutenant consults his notebook, his eyebrows knitted in concentration.
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching. Where did it take place? And when?
Yeah, we did. We talked to the Hardy Boys already.
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him. That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor. About a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
Do you know who the guy was?
If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. But I did not know him.
Did you know his name?
Lely. His service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
Yeah, what is
One
it like?
is a man. Corty, they call him. A nickname as well. The other a woman. Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
Radio operator? The drugs? No. How many radios could be around here? I'm gonna slot Corty as the scab leader for right now. It's the best like option I have. I don't know.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased's?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, then shakes her head.
I can't remember.
The lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better than she let on. She passed.
That's all right, man. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age. or gauge his facial expressions.
I'll have to look at that in the field
What
autopsy.
else? Nationality? Accent?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own.
Must have really impacted his job.
In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it, through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once. They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
And they're not vigilantes? This stupid fucking tribunal.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
Oh, maybe I am smart.
One is obviously the scat leader at the harbor gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
A vantage point in the building south of the roundabout. South of the roundabout. I don't remember which way south is. I'm going to assume south is like to the bottom of the screen. Couldn't see the buildings over there. The only woman, though, I know who was on top of a building was Orangi disco dancer.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a powder keg. Does this not bother you?
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
I can't get involved. My job.
That would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a short wave at the ship's wheel.
Ah.
I hope I can answer it better. Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
Tribunal and all.
It's a matter of days, not weeks.
Oh, we're screwed. Harry Dubois. Oh.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Photos?
Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
She reaches over the guard wire and takes the photo, holds it in her
For
hand.
about half a minute, in silence.
It was taken with a Trigat not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars.
She points to one on the photo paper.
I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent. Close. Port cities. This is an Oranese map of the waterways. A sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago. The sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
So we can see where he goes.
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it. Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oranese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semines Islands, then this.
Points to his heart?
Revachol.
Okay.
Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
Were these was he?
Vredefort? Vredefort has a military academy. The Semines Islands saw a recent conflict. In Revachol, he was executed.
It could be.
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the custom would morph into on the Occident. Mercenary tattoos.
For all the boys looking for adventure, a blood spatter on the seas.
Also, who would have given him the tattoo
His
here?
platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's a dangerous side task. Search elsewhere.
Do what you have to do, detective. I don't think deciphering that
just won't do
tattoo
it.
should come before public security. But if you should wade into the mob to find out, I couldn't stop you.
We will be careful, ma'am.
Is there anything
Thank
else
you.
I can help you with?
Everard.
You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare?
I didn't.
Oh, come on now. He has his uses. How else would he have stayed in power all these years?
I wouldn't have called someone a
wait.
midget.
Actually, corruption. That's how he's done it. Fantastic, worm-like corruption, reaching into the bowels of the earth.
The position of my unusual colleague does not reflect official policy. I hope you understand. The RCM does not pick sides.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt worm myself. However, if you felt like discussing something, how could I stop you?
Yeah.
Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping.
Yeah.
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she has to say about these things.
Oh yeah, what did super
Weird. Oh no. One of the positive things to come from the revolution is the unhindered exchange of information, you see, even when it comes to trade secrets.
Yay.
Which isn't to suggest our talks constitute corporate espionage. Even if they did, it would be fine. But they don't, since you logged the money as a donation, and this is clearly just gossip between friends.
Yes.
The lieutenant might have, but I don't remember you logging anything as anything, Harry.
Mr. Everard is helping me find my gun.
Oh. That's so helpful of him.
The lieutenant looks at you, and you can swear his jaw muscle is trembling. He's able to contain the anger and surprise.
Unconventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people about this, to gauge their reactions. It's all part of detecting.
Yes.
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun?
Mr. Everett says it's almost ready to be found soon.
Did he now? Well, then it should be any day now. Unless, of course, he's lying to you. Anyway, was there anything else you've heard?
Perhaps he is.
Yeah, he's probably lying, but...
Of course, Detective.
I don't got anything else.
Should something come up later, down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat. Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
No. Because you know what I get to do? I get to talk to the guy. Oh, wait, it's been an hour. Episode over now. Bye.